The Yellowstone supervolcano, it's a caldera volcano. Like they didn't realize that it was so big until somewhere in like the 2000s, I think it was. They did satellite imagery and they realized, oh my God, that's the caldera of a volcano.
Recently, Yellowstone National Park has experienced a surge in seismic activity, with hundreds of earthquakes shaking the ground. This has led to serious warnings from officials and raised many questions. Could these quakes be a sign of a much larger event? Is the supervolcano beneath Yellowstone capable of a catastrophic eruption getting ready to blow? What would happen if it did, and how would it affect us all? With scientists keeping a close watch, are we prepared for what Mother Nature might unleash? Well, to know this, all you have to stay tuned till the end. Yellowstone National Park, located in the western United States, has been experiencing unusual activity recently. This park, known for its incredible wildlife and geothermal features, spreads across Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. Yellowstone sits on a supervolcano, a massive volcano that erupts every 600,000 to 800,000 years. The last eruption was around 640,000 years ago, leading to concerns that another one might be due. Such an eruption could have devastating effects across continents. Recently, there has been a significant increase in earthquakes in the park. This surge in seismic activity is the most notable in decades, highlighting the power and unpredictability of nature. Chopper 5 provided a detailed view of the flooding in the park, showing the extent of the recent changes. Yellowstone officials have issued a warning after hundreds of quakes were recorded. These quakes might signal something bigger, so staying informed is crucial. The park is famous for its wildlife and geothermal features like Old Faithful, a geyser that erupts regularly and attracts many visitors. Yellowstone's diverse ecosystems, including vast subalpine forests, make it a popular destination for adventurers, nature lovers, and scientists. Numerous Native American tribes, including the Crow, Shoshone, and Blackfeet, called Yellowstone home. They considered the land sacred and were its original stewards. Much of their history is wrapped in myths and legends, but their presence adds to Yellowstone's rich heritage. Some believe their spirits still linger in the park's wilderness. In the 18th century, Yellowstone was largely unknown to European settlers. A few Native Americans and explorers had ventured into these lands. By the late 1700s, Europeans began exploring the area, and the Lewis and Clark expedition from 1804 to 1806 played a significant role in mapping the region. Although they didn't enter Yellowstone directly, their journey paved the way for future explorers. In 1869, David E. Folsom led the first documented expedition into Yellowstone. This modest journey sparked more exploration. The famous Washburn-Langford-Doane expedition of 1870 followed. The most significant exploration was the Hayden Geological Survey of 1871, led by geologist Ferdinand Hayden and funded by the federal government. This comprehensive survey mapped Yellowstone in detail. Hayden's team, which included artists, scientists, and photographers, documented the park's stunning landscapes, laying the groundwork for future scientific study. Their work helped Yellowstone become the world's first national park in March 1872. Yellowstone experiences thousands of small earthquakes each year, most of which go unnoticed. However, there have been 6 major earthquakes with magnitudes of 6 or higher. One notable event was the 1959 Hebgen Lake earthquake, with a magnitude of 7.0. It struck just outside the park's northwest boundary, shattering the Hebgen Dam and causing massive flooding that reshaped the Madison River. The ground moved violently, creating Earthquake Lake from the dam's ruins. Dormant geysers erupted, roads disappeared, and buildings collapsed. The quake killed 28 people and led to significant improvements in safety measures, building standards, and emergency protocols. Scientists continue to study the area's vulnerability, considering the stress the quake caused in the fracture zone. These studies aim to better understand and prepare for future seismic activity in Yellowstone. There's always some earthquake activity in Yellowstone, but not all earthquakes cause major problems. For example, in 1975, a 6.1 magnitude quake hit the park, shaking things up but causing little damage. Then there's this interesting event called an earthquake swarm, where thousands of small quakes occur over a few months. In 1985, one such swarm lasted for 3 months. Scientists believe this is all connected to the Yellowstone caldera, a massive volcanic crater under the park. In 2007, the ground under the caldera buzzed with 16 small quakes in just a few days. These swarms are like nature's way of stretching. In December 2008, over 250 quakes rattled Yellowstone Lake in just 4 days, with the biggest one hitting a magnitude of 3. Again, in January 2010, another 250 quakes shook the area over 2 days. It seems the earth beneath Yellowstone never takes a break. The Yellowstone caldera is one of the largest volcanoes in North America and is known as a supervolcano. It's formed by huge explosive eruptions. Beneath Yellowstone, there's a massive chamber of hot, melted rock, like a giant underground lake of lava. The caldera we see today was created by a huge eruption 640,000 years ago, which blasted out more than 240 cubic miles of volcanic material. To put that in perspective, it was over 1,000 times bigger than the 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption. This eruption created a caldera nearly 1 kilometer deep and 45 thou 28 miles wide. It also left behind the Lava Creek Tuff, a type of rock formation. The most intense eruption happened 2.1 million years ago, releasing 588 cubic miles of volcanic material and forming the Huckleberry Ridge Tuff and Island Park caldera. Another smaller eruption 1.3 million years ago created the Henry's Fork caldera and the Mesa Falls Tuff, releasing 67 cubic miles of material. Each of these massive eruptions covered large parts of North America in ash, affecting the weather and making life difficult for many animals. Scientists are watching Yellowstone closely because there are lots of earthquakes happening there. Some think it might mean a big eruption could happen soon. But why is this happening? Well, some scientists think it's because of things in the Earth's crust and upper mantle, while others think it's from deeper down in the Earth's mantle. There's also this thing called the Yellowstone hotspot that popped up suddenly in the Earth's history. People wonder if it's connected to another geological event called the Columbia basalt flows. Some say maybe watery stuff from deep inside the Earth is causing it all. Understanding Yellowstone's past eruptions helps scientists guess when the next one might happen, but it's really hard to predict. Even with fancy tools like earthquake trackers, it's a tough job. And exploring Yellowstone's underground wonders can be tricky too, because of bubbling mud and gas emissions. But there are also beautiful things to see, like the Grand Prismatic Spring. It's the biggest hot spring in the US and the third biggest in the world. It looks amazing because of the colorful creatures living in the water, changing with the seasons. At the center of the pool, the water's natural blue color dominates, becoming more pronounced due to the depth and sterility of the spring. Visitors walking along the boardwalk witness mesmerizing patterns resembling colossal flames, unaware that beneath their feet lie layers of heat-loving microbes known as thermophiles. As news of recent earthquakes in Yellowstone spread online, social media buzzed with speculation and concern. While some expressed anxiety with dark humor, others linked the seismic activity to global climate issues. Despite widespread panic, experts from the U.S. Geological Survey and the Yellowstone Observatory reassured the public that while the earthquakes were concerning, they didn't necessarily signal an impending eruption. Their words, backed by scientific data and analysis, provided much-needed perspective amid the chaos. Yellowstone Lake is a massive body of water, the largest in North America and the world's second largest at such a high altitude. Fed by numerous streams and rivers, including the mighty Yellowstone River, it teems with life. Its unique features, like the split into 2 branches resembling fjords and the West Thumb hydrothermal wonders, make it truly special. Home to various waterfowl species, Yellowstone Lake is a vibrant ecosystem, but beneath its surface lies a different story. Seismic activity, marked by earthquakes, holds clues to potential volcanic eruptions. Monitoring efforts led by organizations like the Yellowstone Observatory and the U.S. Geological Survey are vital in assessing volcanic risks. The University of Utah seismograph stations acts as a detective agency for Yellowstone's volcanoes. Using sophisticated tools like seismometers, they keep a close watch for any signs of awakening. Their approach involves two main methods: nuclear snooping, which tracks ground movements, and hydrothermal monitoring, focused on Yellowstone's bubbling hot springs and geysers. These special spots act like little windows into the underground world. By watching the temperature, chemistry, and gases bubbling up, scientists can tell if the volcano is starting to get restless. But their detective work doesn't stop there. They're always thinking up new ideas, like flying drones with special heat cameras or teaching computers to spot volcano clues in real time. The future holds endless possibilities. These dedicated professionals devote their lives to monitoring geological activity, acting as guardians during uncertain times. Their commitment was evident following the Maple Creek incident of June 12, 2017. On that day, a sudden disturbance jolted the tranquility of Maple Creek. What started as a gentle tremor quickly escalated, shaking trees vigorously. The town's residents, taken aback by the unexpected event, quickly realized something was wrong. Investigations revealed heightened seismic activity beneath the town, prompting urgent safety precautions. Meanwhile, scientists turned their attention to Yellowstone Lake, closely monitoring seismic events in the area. Analysis of data from 1983 to 2008 revealed intriguing findings. Among the 250 earthquakes recorded, the most powerful tremor, measuring 3.9 on the Richter scale, originated from the lake. Are you scared of these eruptions? What are your views on this? Do let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to share this information with your friends. For more such amazing videos, do subscribe to our channel.